For the first time in over 10 years, the March Madness tournament will be coming back to Greenville, and who other to host it? Furman University. I'm joined today by their athletic director, Mike Buddie, and we're going to talk a little bit about what to expect from the tournament and what they're planning tonight on how to promote it in the future. First off, Mr. Buddie, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex.
Let's just talk a little bit. You know, this started as soon as the tournament was pulled out of Charlotte, so how quickly did you guys try to jump on it to see it's a possibility it could come to Greenville?
We actually preempted it a little bit. We were at the NCAA headquarters back in May, and we anticipated that they might have to pull out of the state of North Carolina due to the HB2 legislation. So we were actually there to complete a bid for the 2019 through 2022 cycle for the men's championship and women's championship. And so while we were up there, we kind of planted the seed. Of course, being in South Carolina and having dealt with the flag issue where we couldn't host for so long, we thought that North Carolina might be in trouble a little bit. And so we let them know that we were on standby if they needed a replacement. And then when they made the announcement, we immediately had our bid materials all ready to go. We wanted to make sure they knew we were organized and serious about the intent. So submitted that bid quickly, and then fortunately got the phone call just 2 short weeks later that it was on, and we had a lot of work to do.
Tell me about the process ever since you got the host. What have you had to go through in terms of scheduling and hiring, making sure everybody's on the same page for this to go down as smooth as possible?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, as you can imagine. We didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We were hopeful that we would get the call, but then you get the call and you celebrate for about 10 minutes, and then you realize, you know, we got to get to work. So it's interesting. Danny Hayner at the NCAA, minutes after we got the announcement, sent us an email, and there were, I think, 13 attachments. And he said, these are 13 attachments. They're pretty urgent. We need to get them filled out and returned. Just keep in mind, these are documents that everybody else got 3.5 years ago, which brings the whole reality to it. So all these other 7 hostess sites have had this information for 3.5 years. We had it for 3 minutes and it was due. So just a real wake-up call for us. But fortunately, we have all the pieces in place. That 4-headed monster, we've all started bringing in the right people that we need to have in the room. We're crossing T's and dotting I's. We haven't had to add staff. Fortunately, people like yourself and all over the community who have worked in athletics before are stepping up to volunteer their time, their expertise. So we're thrilled about that. And just trying to get the word out, sell these tickets, and then sit back, relax, have all the work done so that when Selection Sunday hits, we just hit send on our host manuals to the 8 schools that are being sent here, and then we can enjoy some great college basketball.
Let's talk a little bit about the Confederate flag issue real quick, because this couldn't happen without that flag going down. So when you saw that go down back in the summer of 2015, did you think really quickly that it would happen like this when the SEC announced they were coming to Greenville, and then March Madness with you guys in the SoCon as the host?
Yeah, absolutely. We were certainly hoping that would be the case. My previous job, I was in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we used to lament all the time that it was a shame we couldn't host some of our championships in the state of South Carolina. So many great venues and great people to execute them. So when we knew when that flag came down, there's a group of civic-minded folks here in Greenville, like a little sports commission, if you will, not an official group, but a bunch of leaders got together, and I was among them, and we started brainstorming, what does this mean for Greenville? You know, what can we bring here that we haven't had the opportunity to bring here in the past? And certainly the marquee event of the NCAA staple is the men's basketball championship. So that was kind of the golden ring, and that was the ultimate prize, and turns out that's the first one that we got. So we're thrilled that worked out that way.
Now let's talk a little bit about what this can bring to the city of Greenville. Of course, it's been over 10 years since it's come, and Greenville has changed so much, as I know Furman University has, and the SoCon has grown as well. So what can this bring to the city of Greenville, and what do you think the NCAA is going to be surprised about?
Well, certainly the landscape of Main Street and the surrounding area has changed significantly. Numerous new full-scale, full-service hotels, all within 2 miles of Bon Secours, which is just a wonderful experience. So, you know, this is going to be a huge economic impact for the Greenville and surrounding communities. We're estimating at least $4 or $5 million just in hotels and restaurant bump in activity. Those partners have been fantastic, the hotels being able to accommodate the NCAA's request. And then you look at 8 teams that are going to be sent here on Selection Sunday, and it could be UCLA to Gonzaga to Texas to Providence. People are going to be coming from all corners of the United States, descending here on Greenville. And from a fan perspective, I mean, you can just picture March 17th, if it's 58 degrees, and you stay at one of those several great hotels on Main Street. You walk past a dozen unbelievable restaurants, bars, and shops on your way to the ball game. I mean, it's just a tourist destination for a reason, and we think basketball fans are going to love that experience.
So let's talk a little bit about the Bonsa Course Wellness Arena. Of course, that has been, the biggest thing in downtown Greenville to host a lot of events, concerts, and games for a lot of colleges. So what do you guys like about the Bonsa Course Wellness Arena? What do the Paladins like about it in terms of playing there? What do you think the teams are going to think about when they come to that court?
Bonsa Course is a wonderful arena, almost 14,500 seats. So, tonight for the Furman Bob Jones game, it's unusual for those kids to get to play in front of that many fans, and obviously it's not going to be sold out, but it's a big arena. It gives them a feel for a big-time college atmosphere, or even an NBA. But it's a wonderful facility. Beth Paul, who runs that arena, does a great job. Her staff's extremely capable. They were really, really important key players in terms of submitting this bid, mainly because they did such a great job in 2002. So the credibility level was high. With the staff and the arena and the amenities surround it. And so we had the first NCAA site visit yesterday, and they were thrilled with the way that arena looks. And the great part was when they arrived, it was an ice skating rink, and by the time we finished our meetings, a basketball court was down, and the Furman team was getting ready to practice. So multi-purpose use, located right in the heart of downtown. It's just a great facility and run by some really, really talented people.
Now let's talk a little bit about this game happening tonight. Furman University and Bob Jones, two teams that are known in the Greenville area, but on a little bit of different levels. So why did you guys choose to face Bob Jones here, and what do you think the community could get out of this coming to watch the game, and also the players and teams as well?
For the players, it's going to be fun to play in that arena. World Series Game 7 tonight didn't line up great in terms of getting the best attendance, but it's a free event. This game was actually scheduled to be here on Furman's campus on Saturday. One of the things that the NCAA asked us when they awarded us the bid was, could you hold a game? It doesn't have to be a big game, just anything that we can come, do a site visit, see how the building operates a basketball game, see where the locker rooms are and the officials' rooms. And so we circled this game and said, we've got an exhibition game, would you be willing to do that? We didn't want to move one of our home games and lose our home court advantage during the season. So it just worked out great. Our friends at Bob Jones were more than willing to make the adjustment. We appreciate them being flexible. And it's a great opportunity for fans who may not get to see college basketball very often and may not have ever set foot in that arena. Come by tonight at 7 o'clock. It's completely free. Love to have you come in and enjoy a good college basketball game.
Let's talk about the ticket sales. Tell us about when those are going to go on sale, where people could go and grab them, because you are expecting, I heard on an interview, that they will sell out hopefully by the end of this weekend, as this is the biggest stage in college basketball. So where can people go and get these, and just why do you think they should go out of their way for this tournament, even though that there's not a lot of colleges real close to Greenville that are on the big leagues like Kentucky or Louisville or even Duke?
They'll go on sale Saturday, November 5th, 10 a.m. So you can go to ncaa.com and hope that you can get through pretty quickly. It's just a great sporting event. It's kind of like the College World Series. It sells out quickly, and nobody knows who's going to actually be playing in the College World Series. Well, March Madness is like that. And when you add in the factor that no one in the state of South Carolina has been able to go to a South Carolina hosted game since 2002, if you're a college basketball fan, it doesn't get any better than this. And so you got to kind of step up and make the commitment to buy those tickets now, because on Selection Sunday, when you do find out if Duke and Kentucky or even Clemson hopefully were to get sent here, it's going to be too late. So we've had a couple pre-sale opportunities for Paladin Club members, and actually all the people who had already purchased tickets for the Greensboro site and then had it move out of there, we had to honor their tickets. So those were sold as well. And then Saturday 10 a.m. the general public will go on sale, and they'll go quickly, in my opinion. What
does Greenville have to do to get ready for this? What do you think the communities have to do to make sure we're ready for all these people to come, the players and the fans, to make sure that we're all up to date and we have a big economic boom thanks to this event?
Well, that's the great part. I mean, what Greenville needs to do is be Greenville. I mean, it's a welcoming, flourishing city. The bustle downtown, it happens every weekend. I don't know if the people at the NCAA believed us, but we kept saying, listen, we get thousands of visitors every weekend who just have an unbelievable experience. We're a very welcoming, inclusive community. So we just need to keep doing that. Of course, the residents are going to need to be patient. I mean, you're talking about 200,000 or 300,000 people coming into town, staying, I'm sure, anywhere from Greer to Clemson and everywhere in between. to get this basketball fixed. So traffic will be a little bit heavier than normal that weekend, but we're thrilled to have the opportunity, and I think the restaurateurs and hotels and shops downtown are going to be perfectly fine welcoming 300,000 visitors to our city.
Talk about the SoCon. You guys are just down the street from them. So when you first wanted to make this move, what did those at the SoCon say in how they thought about it, or if they thought it was possible, and what have their emotions been since the news came that you guys will host?
They've been very proactive, and as a matter of fact, we're co-hosting along with the Southern Conference. So Commissioner John I. Marino, Jeff Cabe, who's the Associate Commissioner, has been just a workhorse through this. So Jeff Cabe was the tournament manager back in 2002, so his experience has been invaluable. They love to be able to partner with the SoCon institution. Like you said, we're so close by. It's Furman. We've got the local touch here in Greenville. SoCon's got great experience, and they're just 25 miles up the road. So they've been very proactive as well. Jeff Cabe was involved way back when on those first few meetings, saying, how can we help? And it's been a great kind of a four-headed monster is what we call it. So the Southern Conference, Furman University, Bon Secours Wellness Arena, and then Visit Greenville. That staff, Chris Stone and Robin Wright, have been unbelievably involved. They've kind of been the behind-the-scenes workers. They know how to sell. They know how to sell Greenville, and they've got great corporate partners and community partners that have all been able to rally together to make this a reality. So it's been a real team effort.
Looking ahead of the tournament, what do you think you're going to get out of this? What do you think Furman's going to get out of this, or the city's going to get out of this? You know, looking back in the month of April, what are they going to look back on and say, hey, I really love that tournament because, or my favorite part of that tournament was, you know, what do you think is going to be the best part of all this?
Well, we're going to gain credibility in the national spotlight. To be able to pull off an event like this over 3 days with just 4.5 months notice, the NCAA is going to feel really good about what we've done and the way we've executed their vision of March Madness. Obviously, we've still got those bids that we've submitted for 2019 through 2022. We would love to become kind of in the regular rotation, and that's kind of always been the goal, is to show the fans and student athletes and NCAA representatives such an unbelievable experience here in Greenville that they want to make it in every opportunity that they can to award a bid to Greenville. So that's what we hope, that everybody walks away basically saying, that was such a great experience, how could we not want to come here again?
Do you think Furman can make it into that tournament, and do you think that the Bon Secours Wellness Arena might play in somewhat of a home court advantage for the Paladins?
Well, unfortunately, if Furman were to make it to March Madness, they're excluded from being sent to their hometown, even though that's not our home arena, and that would be a wonderful, wonderful problem to have if the tournament came here on March 17th and Coach Medved and the Paladins were sent to San Jose, for example. That just means we've won the Southern Conference champions and we're going back to March Madness. That would be a great problem to have. If the Paladins are going to March Madness, we're going to encourage our season ticket holders to trade in their March Madness tickets here and get on an airplane and support the guys, because that'll be a special, special achievement for this group, and certainly not out of the equation. You know, we're picked to finish third in the preseason poll. And close with the other two. So, you know, a couple breaks, guys staying healthy, would be, like I said, a wonderful problem. And I know our Paladin faithful will be thrilled to jump on a plane or jump in their cars and follow the Paladins all over to have that experience. You
have the game tonight against Bob Jones. What are you looking forward to that the most? What do you hope people can get out of it? And what do you think that the NCAA's response is going to be after they see this game played and how the Bon Secours Wellness Arena works around it?
I think the NCAA staff's going to be extremely happy. You know, they're looking at flow of the venue, exits and entrances, and so we'll staff it as if it were a March Madness game, even though we wouldn't need nearly that much. And they love, you know, the lighting and the sound system and the video board, all of those things that the arena has in spades. So that'll be executed extremely well. They'll be thrilled with that. You know, as the athletic director at Furman, I want our guys to play hard and come out healthy. And we've got 3 really, really talented freshmen that we're excited about, and we've got another local product, Jalen Williams, who's a Wade Hampton graduate who's redshirted last year, so he's a redshirt sophomore, but we haven't had a chance to see him play, so we're excited to see Jalen get out there and run up and down the court. And then, like I said, just coming out healthy and having executed and to a level that the coach is pleased with.
Well, you heard it here, folks, from the Furman Athletic Director Mike Buddie talking about the tournament and the game tonight. Be sure to go out there and buy your tickets. And remember, go to GreerToday.com and follow us through social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Mr. Buddie, I want to thank you for joining me today, and good luck in all the rest of the preparation for the tournament and for the Furman Paladins this basketball season.
Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate your time. Hope to see you out there.